I drive over, and as I pull up, I see Lucy Pickens and General Robert E. Lee standing on the front porch.
In full costume.
In full costume.
Full
I'm not.
costume.
Yeah, I'm saying the reenactor, the Ciara Lee, who does a wonderful job as Lucy Pickens, and she in fact had come that very night that I was there. So we had
Just after you left.
Yeah.
She had come to peer through the windows because she knew this house belonged to Lucy Pickens. Lucy Pickens lived in this house, and she had never been in it. And she came hoping that she could come in and look at it. But no one was here, so she just peered through the windows. So the next day was when she came back.
right, and so we didn't know about that until after. But she ended up playing the role of Lucy Pickens and did such an amazing job. Just an amazing.
And she knows all about the clothes. I remember
Made
that
the
day
clothes.
we were meeting her, and she gave us the card and talked about how she'd made the clothes and everything. And we just thought, boy, you channeled in this whole person that had just come in and like perfect costume, and her life's work was she wanted to portray Lucy. So then we sent Christy out to the porch again when we were trying to channel Eulalie. Plus we had, aren't there like 75 actors that somehow
Yes,
passed through?
yes.
It's a number, it's like 75,
Yes.
isn't it?
No, well, actually a little bit more than that.
In the
Okay.
documentary?
In the,
Yes.
yeah.
In the actual.
So, I mean, I know we do, and then we can do like double duty. There's a couple of people who do
Yeah.
double
And
duty.
all are community members except for
Or students.
students.
Students,
Everyone except for Ciara,
Yeah.
who lives in Florence.
Well, and I was talking to Carla Cloud the other day, who played Eulalie,
Eulalie.
and I ran into her right after we filmed most of the 1800s part, and I ran into her in the alley, and I said, Carla, I bet you could be Eulalie, but I have to get your picture and everything, because I don't make that decision by myself. And we were talking, and she said, yeah, Christy told me at first. I was like, oh, there might be another Eulalie, but then it just came together.
Exactly.
And so it's, to me, that's one of the greatest things about this project, is things like finding Carla at the right time.
Oh, absolutely.
finding
And Jim
Ciara
Anderson,
and Jim.
who plays.
And then
Pickens.
throughout the whole project, Douglas Culbreth, who was part of Tom Lee's, a descendant of Tom Lee's, just coming here one day, and me connecting with him, and then Maggie being able to interview him, and just running into people. I tell folks all the time, we were meant to do this project, and it sounds kind of funny sometimes to people, but I truly believe that. I don't believe the things would have fell into place, and even the relationships among this group would have formed the way they did with the commitment to doing a quality project if we weren't meant to do it.
Well, and I've been on many different kinds of film shoots for a long time, and the people who've worked on this from this crew, we all say it's the most amazing set we've ever been on, and it was fun. It was really hard, but it came together, and all of the people showed up when they were supposed to, and no one would believe you unless you saw it. And the things that popped up, the props that would pop up, and the people, and the places, and it would just all come together.
Well, talk about even finding a period hearse to use in
Yes.
some of the
Oh,
interesting
Barbara
parts.
used her contacts and pressed, every one of us pressed people into service, but if we really needed something, we'd send out Barbara Morgan.
Well, it's just community contacts, and you just go, okay, we have to make it happen, and it would.
Yeah.
People were willing to volunteer their horses, their carriages, their hearse, their. I mean, think about what the Aiken County Historical Museum did.
Said come in and take what you need.
And we did.
And we did. We literally would go and take.
I like that pen. Let's get that. Yeah.
Well, I think that's
Take
what
and
made
use.
it look so
Amazing.
good.
Yeah.
Is so many things were real. It was
And the
also
telephones. That
The
was
telephones,
that
the
was-
typewriter, the telephones.
Well,
Okay,
and,
we
and,
were-
and another thing that is so great about this is that these things sit in people's attics or
Yes.
behind glass, and all of a sudden we were able to use precious things that people have in context.
Yes.
For example, when you see Tom Lee going through, this is my personal experience, when you see Tom Lee going and carrying the money and the gold watch from Mississippi to Francis in Carolina, he's actually got the bedroll that was my grandfather's bedroll that was made from the late 1800s. So it kind of interweaves these great elements.
What about the shoes?
Yeah, the shoes.
The shoes. What shoes? Your shoes?
No,
Yeah.
not your shoes. They were
And my
important.
shoes were in every
Every
shot.
shot.
I mean,
was just-
Sissy Brody and the pillows, the porch
Yeah,
things.
right.
the-
Yeah.
People would just, they would be willing to bring.
Well, we had
and use
a
things.
Russia scene. We were going to Russia, and it's of course steaming hot summer. Like we're wearing furs, and we got all that sort of the stuff. But Lucy, we always wanted to do things outdoors, and she had to have a samovar as if it were the Russian tea thing.
Right.
We looked online. We were going to eBay buy one. We just got to get a samovar. And I'm friends with Dr. Tom Mack. And, I go into his house, he's my neighbor. We go into his, visit back and forth. I had seen this samovar every day for 5 years and had not even thought about, so one day Christy's coming over, we're talking to Tom about, different projects and things. And we say, isn't that a samovar? It's right
Not
there.
only, not only
open
is
the
it
door.
samovar,
It
it
is
is a Russian Fabergé samovar.
Yeah.
So it would be those kinds of things that we were always surrounded by, but until it was that you were out on the search for something. And I know we had you on, speed dial, so, well, we need period, I still can't say them.
Cigarette
Yeah,
holders.
Cigarette
Cigarette
holders,
things.
yeah,
Things.
yeah.
But what about Rosemary Hall was so,
Yes.
that we just went in there and said, oh, that.
Oh, yeah,
that.
Now that was another one of those interesting things where just before that before the folks that bought it even knew they were going to buy it from, oh, by the way, your husband was their real estate.
But you mean the captain of the ship?
Yeah.
AKA.
Like in like
Captain
April,
Chunky.
right before the Masters, I had gone and looked at the front of Lookaway as a place to be Charleston. We didn't have to go to Charleston. And
These
so
were
we
North
took-
Augusta.
Yeah,
homes.
North
North
Augusta.
North Augusta homes, and when you would look up, it has huge columns. So I was thinking, oh boy, well, no one had bought it. The bank had it. So lo and behold, by I don't know what, August or September, Diana and Kelly Combs come from California and buy these homes, and so by the time we're ready to shoot, it's full of furniture, full of period furniture, and they say, sure, whatever
we
you
did
need.
what- we did help
What
them
about
move.
Halcyon
We,
Grove?
we help them move, but
And what about Halcyon Grove?
Grove, yes.
Oh,
and Halcyon
love that.
Grove.
Oh,
house.
yeah,
Yeah.
Halcyon Groves.
which we pulled out pictures that had never been seen of Francis, and then we're looking up on the in one of the secretaries and see a book, pull it down and open it up, and sure enough, it's got Lucy Holcomb Pickens,
1861.
April, Charleston,
Charleston.
April
1861.
1861, which was in
Now go
fact
back to-
exactly
And what was the book
What
she
is
was
Halcyon?
reading?
Faust.
Yeah, Faust.
And
Silly
what,
soul to the
tell the
devil.
story of Halcyon Grove, because
Yeah.
it is part of the Pickens story.
Yes, Halcyon Grove was the home of Andrew Pickens Jr., which was Francis Pickens' father. So while Edgewood was being built, Francis and his first wife, Margaret Eliza,
The first.
the first, lived there while Edgewood was being built. So much of the furniture that's still in there was there when they lived there, and I'm not sure how long they lived there, but it must have been 2 to 4 years. So there was these pictures of Francis and
And that they had physically been in
in the
the
space,
In the
Yeah,
space.
because of course Edgewood doesn't.
And Beth Worth was so great.
Yeah,
Oh
Beth
my
is
goodness.
Okay,
About
but what's
that.
the best thing about Beth and that she had that she contributed besides the house, which was
Pimento cheese
absolutely-
sandwiches?
Pimento cheese sandwiches on
On
toasted raisin
Raisin
bread.
bread.
It was just elegant.
That was such a hit.
Yeah, and then she had like fruit on a stick and
They-
everything.